I was already ready. My camera did a 10-second countdown. Hey guys! Hey Cake Nieces, it's Marisha. It's Valentine's time. Do you know people who say Valentine's? Do you say Valentine's? Because I don't understand, and I'm just trying to make it make sense. For those who say Valentine's, do you combine Valentine's and times to say it's Valentine's time? Because I kind of want to do that right now. Valentine's. Whenever I ask really good questions like this, y'all always give me good feedback. Last time I asked all the Aquarians if your favorite color was blue, and a lot of y'all said it was purple. And I could kind of see that because if you look in the deep parts of the ocean, you could kind of maybe see purple at night. For this video, I'm going to show you guys how to make, what am I making? Oh, my go-to drip cake. A lot of you guys feel like it's a little bit difficult to do a drip cake, but it's really not. The secret beyond the drip is the toppers. It really does depend on your toppers. The more toppers you have, the more color you have. You can't really go wrong with this. This can be useful for any occasion. If you guys haven't done so yet, I'm gonna need you to subscribe, because if you don't subscribe, why am I even here? And while you're subscribing, there's this little notification bell. It's great stuff. Let me tell you about it. When you press on it, you get notified from my videos. Go ahead and do that for me. I would greatly appreciate it. And then let's get started. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to work on are my macarons. So I do have a very detailed, in-depth video called Macarons 101, and that is showing you guys how to easily make macarons, and it has a really good recipe inside as well. So I'm going to leave that in the description below, but you can see me piping them onto my silicone mat. It just has a little bit of cornstarch on it. That's what that white powder is. I also did a heart. I did one heart, and I wish I had done a whole lot more because that looked really great. I just wasn't sure how it was going to turn out. But as you would remember from my previous video, my berry box and macaron box video, I did some purple, some neutral pink, and some light blue macarons. I filled them with cream cheese frosting, and I added a little bit of almond extract to the macarons as well for some extra oomph. And what's great about these are that you can color them any way that you want, just like your strawberries. If you are doing an autumn or Halloween theme, you can do oranges, deep purples. If you're doing Easter, you can do pastel springtime colors. You can really make this cake fit whatever you want it to fit. So let's move on to our strawberries. For the strawberries, I'm going to be using candy melts, but you could definitely, and I would prefer using white chocolate. I just wanted to try out these candy melts. I'm going to be dipping them in white, pale pink, and lavender candy melts. I'm also going to be topping them with some desiccated coconut and some pink sanding sugar. So romantic. They definitely fit the theme of Valentine's Day. And these were also featured in my previous video as well. I really want to get into dipping other fruits in chocolate. Have you guys ever had orange segments dipped in chocolate or tangerine slices dipped in chocolate? They are so good. You bite into it, you get that crunch at first, and then you get that amazing burst of juice from the orange juice. It is like no other chocolate covered fruit, especially when it's dark chocolate. My strawberries are looking super photogenic, and we will get right back to the cake after this short message. Actually, someone asked me for this cake, but because I never make the same cake twice, this is what she asked me for. This is what she got, and I feel like what she got is so much better, and that's what I love about this cake. It's pretty much the same template. Make it grand, or you can make it really simple, just depending on the toppers that you have. Now we can move on to the buildage of the cake. I'm putting a little dollop of frosting down to my cake board to keep my cake sturdy. I still didn't put enough because it definitely moved. And I'm putting down my first layer of my 6-inch red velvet cake. I'm dousing it heavily in some vanilla simple syrup. And then I'm going to fill it with some cream cheese frosting. The links for these recipes will be down below in the description. Did I say recipes? Recipes. The recipes will be in the description. I like at least a good inch of frosting in the middle. Something so that when you slice into the cake, it will look like obvious layers of cake and frosting and cake and frosting and cake. So I'm going to make my crumb coat. Using my small offset spatula, I'm just going to smear all of the frosting onto the red velvet cake to trap all of the crumbs. And then I put my cake in the refrigerator for about 10 minutes or so until the frosting was completely solid. And now I can continue to frost my cake. Now this is what I call like a semi-naked cake. It's not a completely naked cake because that would actually more so look like the crumb coat that I did, but it's semi-naked in the sense of you could still slightly see through certain parts of the cake, but it is well frosted so that you get frosting, because who doesn't want that cream cheese frosting as much as they can get of it. So I went and did a few passes with my cake scraper to make sure that this frosting was as perfect as I could get it. And then once I completed this, I just let it chill in the refrigerator for another 10 minutes. I melted down some milk chocolate, and that's what I'm going to use for my drip. It's a wonderful consistency. I did add a tablespoon of oil to the frosting to make it slightly more pourable. Just give it a good stir, and then we're going to use a spoon to drip the chocolate down the cake. We're in the whole Valentine's Day situation, right? Okay, so on my eyes, right? Okay, not my jean jacket, but check out the pants, baby. Oh, hold on, I'm really flexible actually. Hold on. Bow. See those hearts? Valentine's Day. Could I have let the video go on without showing you guys my pants? Absolutely not. I literally put those pants on just for the sake of this Valentine's Day video. So I'm continuing on with my drip. I'm probably doing about a ½ inch to 3/4 of an inch apart. And it just looks perfect. This is one of the most successful drips that I've had. So I'm going to take that leftover drip and put that right into the middle. And I'm going to make the perfect little spoon swirl with the back of my spoon using my cake turner. The center part of the cake is going to show, so we want to make that look very appealing. I allowed it to set for about 10 minutes, and then in a piping bag with a really gorgeous swirl tip, I love this swirl tip, I put in my cream cheese frosting, and I'm going to make swirls around the cake. These swirls, they reminded me of certain pastries that I've seen. I wanted it to look big and voluptuous, so I'm using a tube tip to do that. So I'm going to take some more of that leftover chocolate and I put it on some waxed paper, and with a small offset spatula I'm going to smear it up against the waxed paper. What makes this cake so much fun is that there's a lot going on with it, and that includes candies. I usually have chocolate candies, but I really like different heights with this style of cake, so I thought that chocolate sticking up onto the cake would look really beautiful and add some different dimension. I also took some pink and white sprinkles and I placed that onto the chocolate as well, and I'm gonna let that set in the freezer for about 10 minutes. Now we can add our strawberries and macarons. This is the best part. This is when you're using your artistic Cakenista eye. Placing stuff, you're kind of moving it around, you're making sure that certain colors don't clash with other colors. Blueberries look very plain on the outside, but absolutely exotic on the inside. So I love to cut them in half and place them onto the cake. And often people will say, "What is that? What fruit is that?" And I'm like, girl, it's a blueberry. You're just not used to just seeing that inside. People often just pop them into their mouths. So when that chocolate comes out, they are perfect for placing right onto the top of the cake. You can do this with white chocolate as well. You can do it with some of your candy melts, but I really love the brown on top of the cake as well as the brown that's dripping down the cake. there is that heart macaron looking just as cute as it wants to look. So I think I'm going to make some more heart macarons. They're going to look a lot better than that one because that was my very first one. And we're going to play around with that. But overall, this is the cake. You can do some gold paint on the berries. You can do gold leaf on the cake. I love the look of that chocolate when it's set in the center. It's a little bit crunchy. It just reminds me of like a big chocolate covered cake. I want a slice. Imagine having this at a party and then everyone gets a slice. They get some chocolate, they get some macarons, they get some berries. Couture and a loaded romantic drip cake. Bye guys. If you would like to see my red velvet cake recipe, you can check down below. I will also leave my vanilla and my chocolate recipe down below, and I will leave my cream cheese frosting recipe down below. Ooh, that's a good combination. I just want a Neapolitan. Okay, with that being said, my birthday. I don't know if I want to make myself a food cake. Well, and then it's going to be difficult because it has to be a low carb cake, of course, because I don't want to gain 10 pounds for my birthday. Let me know down below what you want to see next. My handy dandy notebook. The Cake Nista comment of the day goes to Brittany Lanford. When the Next Great Baker judged my cake final on that video, Brittany said, OMG, what a blast from the past when you started singing Gullah Gullah Island. And speaking of blast from the past, they're bringing back Dunkaroos. My whole childhood is coming back and it just feels so good because I used to feel really bad for like watching cartoons. Literally, I'm not the only one. Like, I'm not the only one who's still crazy in love with Rocko's Modern Life and Doug and all that stuff. So thank you so much, Brittany, for commenting. I really appreciate it. No, here's a question. Okay, I have a question of the day. Do you guys remember Face from Nick Jr.? He was literally one color. His color would change and he was just eyes and a mouth. I can't even remember if he was a nose. So positive. He was great. He was just like the host of Nick Jr. And he was fun and he was inviting and he was definitely like my babysitter. All right. Follow me on Facebook at facebook.com/MauritiusCoutureCakes and Instagram at Mauritius_couture and at Mauritius_couture_cakes. I will see y'all in the next video. Bye, Cake Nistas. Come and let's play. Alright, I'm done. Cause he did this, right? Come and let's play together.